everyone. Welcome to Aftermath TV, and guess what? We're all back!
Oh,
yeah, it's a full boat.
Families reunited. To my left, of course, former WWE referee Jimmy Corderas,
Yep.
the one and only Nug, who's come back from Japan.
Yes, I've been to Japan and back, and it was hot. There was a record heat wave over there.
And, of course, former WWE superstar Anthony Corelli.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a name for us because there's the Three Musketeers, but we're four, and I don't know.
There
Four,
were
Because
technically
we're the
four
four
of the
best friends that anyone could have.
Sure.
We just changed 3 to 4.
Yeah, it's
okay.
easy.
All right, guys, there's no other way to start this show than with the massive announcement that we heard on Monday Night Raw.
Because of all of you men and women using your voices for change, we are able to provide the platform to show the world that women can do anything and be anything they want to be. Because of all of you, we are able to stand here and make another first ever announcement. On October 28th, over 50 women, then, now, and forever, will participate in an event called Evolution. And that event, I am privileged to announce, will be the first ever all-women's pay-per-view.
Well, there we have it.
Yes.
First ever women's pay-per-view,
Yes.
set to be held in October. How amazing and important and massive is this?
You know, words can't describe how big this is. I mean, this is a long time in the making. I mean, we've seen the evolution of the women. As I said last night, you know, with the TLC matches and the Hell in a Cell and everything, the first ever all-women's Royal Rumble match. This is just a natural progression. I'm surprised it took this long to get there, but I'm glad we're there, and it's going to be huge.
They certainly have the talent for it now, and I like the fact that all the titles, the Raw, the SmackDown, and the NXT women's title, hopefully by the time this rolls around, there's a ladies tag team title to be fought over, plus the Mae Young Classic will have their finals at this as well. It's going to be a fantastic event.
Well, not to interrupt it, there is going to be 50 women
Yes.
from, they said, then, now, and forever, so there's a lot of room for even tag teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much to talk about here. When I went to the Performance Center, I was most impressed by the female athletes they had there. Of course, the guys, there's lots of big, strong guys, but I walked into a strength and conditioning training session with the girls and animals and beasts and super. It's almost disappointing that we even have to announce something like this. It should be automatic. I grew up in judo. There's 7 weight categories for girls, 7 weight categories for guys, and that's how it is. And it's always been something I didn't think about because it was just supposed to be equal, but it's not. And now it is. 10 years ago, I would not have put my daughter in professional wrestling. It was just something I would have probably wanted to shelter her from a little bit.
Yeah.
But in today's time, with how it has evolved, my daughter is training, and I'm confident in putting her in this industry that she's going to be respected and taken care of and everything else that comes with it. And it'll be an excellent platform for her personal brand. And everything that's happening is now made a father that knows exactly what goes on say, okay, go get it. So it's huge, and it's still just the beginning.
I love hearing that perspective. My question for you guys is do you think the hardcore wrestling fans, the hardcore WWE Universe watchers, will be tuning into this all-women's pay-per-view and have a positive reception of it?
I believe they will. I mean, this is a long time coming. They're among the most vocal with the evolution of the women's division and so forth. I think they're going to be on board 100%. They're the audience you want to cater to, but at the same time, you want the casual fans to join in as well. And I think they're going to do a great job of catering to everybody. I think everybody's going to be pleasantly surprised with what they see.
The hardcore fans are the ones that watch everything on the network and watch NXT. That's their thing.
Right.
And the women's talent in NXT, as you said, just from visiting the Performance Center, is astounding. The amount of talent they have signed and down there working and getting to the main roster, they'll be at this event. And so you get to see, like we always say about NXT, you get to see the stars of tomorrow today. But now with NXT, you're getting to see new stars before they ever show up anywhere else. And a lot of them are women, and they're going to be on this event.
Yeah, the point I left with, I took away from the Performance Center was, because I was kind of like, I mentioned, you know, my daughter's training, and how good do you want her to be before we send her over? And he said, look, she has to be athletic. She has to be an athlete. And then I scanned the room. There was 4 different judo girls there. There was weightlifters, high-level athletes. I mean, these girls were like, I don't know if they were track, but they were athletes. They were jacked, and I had some pretty serious handshakes going on there. I'm like, yeah, whoa.
You know what, though? I love that point, Anthony, because someone may look at them, and of course, they're beautiful, and they're acting, and, you know, some people, the biggest, you know, negative comment they might have about it is that things are fake. But these women are so athletic, and they have such athletic capabilities, and they work day in and day out in the gym. So I love hearing about, you know, the behind the scenes at the Performance Center of all the work and the hours and dedication that these women are putting in, just like the men. And I think that goes a long way. And actually, on that topic, we saw a lot of the men's superstars tweeting yesterday, like Rusev was one of them, saying girl power. So I'm interested to hear about how the support between men and women also work in that little group of superstars.
I think it's a support process amongst the men. You could, as you said, you saw many of the men superstars tweeting about it.
Right.
You could see the reactions of all the guys standing behind all the women on the stage last night. You know, they were all like, "Oh wow, this is so cool."
Genuinely excited too. It was genuine. Yeah.
You know, it's a cliche where they say that, you know, that's your road family. It really is your road family, and, you know, they do support each other, and I think it's great.
You could see it. You could see it on the faces of not only the women, but the men.
Yep.
But you saw how proud Stephanie and Triple H were
Especially
to announce it. Triple H was so happy to have that be said.
He's a man who has 3 daughters,
Yes.
and I mean, he's really into it. One of my prize judo students is a girl. You guys have seen my wife is jacked, and girl power all the way. So I have a daughter.
And really quickly, back to Triple H, and, you know, when you talked about some people, you know, with a tear in their eye, that is genuine, because Triple H is kind of like the father of NXT. He's the godfather of NXT. It's his baby. It's his brand. And just to see him get emotional like that, legitimately emotional about this, you know, it just speaks volumes.
Speaking of Stephanie McMahon a little bit, she told Aftermath about 3 years ago that she wants to see women one day headline WrestleMania. With what we just heard on Monday Night Raw, do we see this going in that direction?
I think we see it going that direction, even without this announcement, especially with Ronda Rousey being the marquee performer that she is. Every time Ronda Rousey gets in that ring, everyone pays attention. Not just wrestling fans, everyone pays attention.
Yeah, it's interesting because now you know, you don't have to be the best guy and the best girl. It's put them all together. Who's the best? And that person's going to rise to the top. So there's no separate pools anymore.
Right, and when you do have a superstar, as you said, like a Ronda Rousey, who transcends not only sports entertainment in the WWE, she is known worldwide, even to people who may not tune into WWE. They know who Ronda Rousey is. She, you know.
And quickly, since we're on the topic of Ronda, outside of Ronda, do we see any of these female wrestlers making a name for themselves outside of WWE, quite like The Rock or John Cena has?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a potential for a bunch of people. I know that in the latest Marine movie with The Miz, Becky Lynch had a role in that. And I think there's a place for Becky outside of WWE. I think Charlotte has a place outside of WWE. And I wouldn't be surprised to see a few of the people that are currently in NXT show up outside of WWE as well.
Yeah, it's interesting because, okay, WWE does a lot of stuff to get people gigs outside, movies, different promotional things, but who can take the baton and run with it on their own? That's going to be interesting, and they're always looking for that. They're looking for athletes, because everything you see, regardless if it's a predetermined outcome or not, requires exceptional athleticism. But they also want to see someone that can take a mic and absolutely seduce and charm a room.
Right.
And that is what they're looking for. Ronda's pretty good on the mic. She's not perfect. She's not perfect at all.
Take a little time.
But that first person that can just, you know, you just find yourself smiling and watching, and they can really, really captivate an audience. That's going to be the person that takes it to the next level. The Rock used to do that. Gosh, he could talk on the mic for half an hour, and nobody would say, "Are we going to get wrestling matches?" No, it was endless entertainment. So.
Well, all of this is positive steps in the right directions for the women's brand, and I'm so excited, as we all are. Guys, don't go anywhere. When we're back, we talk a little bit about The Miz and Daniel Bryan.
Show us your muscles on the way out. Quick.
Damn.
Real power.
I was proven right. I'm also right about your little bogus hero, Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan was never, and I mean never, a world-beating wrestler like he claimed to be. Daniel Bryan is nothing more than a glory hound, obsessed with setting impossible goals to tug at your heartstrings. That's the reason for this sappy Team Hell No reunion, not to win the tag team championships. It's so Daniel Bryan can roll out his greatest hits. But newsflash, Daniel, no one's buying the album. Deep down inside, he knows the truth. And the truth is, Daniel Bryan's return from injury has been a bust. And each and every week he comes out here is another week he's destroying his legacy, and no one has the courage to tell him, not you, not Kane, not his wife, but I have the courage to tell him that Daniel Bryan's days of headlining WrestleMania are over. Daniel Bryan's career, just like Team Hell No, is dead.
Anthony, before the break, you were talking about someone who's good on the mic and who can schmooze the audience. That's The Miz.
Yeah, man.
What makes this guy so incredible, and what makes him such a bad guy in WWE?
Shall I?
Yes,
Shall I?
please.
Okay,
You have a lot to say.
There's a lot of things. Okay, so he is one of the best bad guys on the WWE because you want to strangle him when he talks. But then all of a sudden he's saying things like that, and you look at his face and you go, he believes this.
Yeah.
He means it.
Is it real? Is it not?
And he plays on the words too. He's saying, I have the courage to do this, when the whole thing was Daniel Bryan in the beginning called him a coward that made him lose his marbles.
Yeah.
So it has been a bust. He has come back. It's not. Is he going to attain that same level he did before? So he's saying things that possibly could be true. And of course, everybody that wants to be a professional wrestler under the lights, you have to be a person with a big ego. You have to be a person that. And so, yeah, he's trying to come back, and he's trying to make this monumental comeback from a guy that was not medically cleared, who's now coming back and becoming a champion. It is a story, and he is writing that story by his actions. But and he's pointing it out in a way that you can't really argue it. It's true. He's doing this for himself, for his legacy. And The Miz, outside of what everything he's saying, you know there's those layers, and he is a coward and an opportunist and all these different things under there, which makes him so dynamic, and he's doing good. The only thing is, okay, see the face he left with his thing? His facial expression? The only problem is that's the same one every day. It's the same facial expression every day. Like, I get worked up, and
But by that token, that's the same face you want to punch. As a fan, you watch that, you see
That's
that, you
a
want to
good
punch
point.
him.
That, and it makes me think it's more believable when it's... Because it's not like if you and I, behind
it's
the
like
scenes when we argue, it's not like I'm making a different face every
it's
day.
like the George Costanza method. It's not a lie if you believe it. But what good antagonists and good bad guys do is they pull at heartstrings like that, and they touch on little truths, and they twist it to their advantage. And that's exactly what The Miz does perfectly, and that's why right now he may be the best antagonist on the WWE roster. And this is all great because it leads back to the Daniel Bryan thing on Talking Smack when he wasn't medically cleared, and Miz was just jabbing at him and jabbing at him,
salt on the wound.
and we always thought we'd never get the payoff. Now we can get the payoff.
It goes further than that. This goes back 7 or 8 years to when Daniel Bryan was The Miz's protege on the original NXT.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
This has history.
That's right.
This has backstory. This has emotion behind it.
This is slightly real.
This is 100% real.
There's a lot of real here.
The good stuff about a good bad guy, much like a Lex Luthor in the comics, he's a good bad guy because he thinks he's doing things for the right reason.
And if you look at kind of status, right? He was The Miz's protege. Daniel Bryan was. And then Daniel Bryan surpassed The Miz, and he main evented WrestleMania, and The Miz was that forgotten about superstar. But now The Miz seems to be above Daniel Bryan again, and this is actually elevating Daniel Bryan to be in a storyline with The Miz.
And it also peed off the entire hardcore audience because The Miz, they thought, The Miz is Daniel Bryan's tutor.
Coach, yeah.
Yeah, this guy's been around for years. The American Dragon.
American Dragon.
Yeah.
Do you guys think this is fun for them, or it's now hit a line where like this is real and I'm starting to get really mad?
I think they're both loving it.
There's nothing better in the world than being the guy that comes out and makes the audience want to punch you in the face. Yeah. There's nothing better than being booed.
But I think like a sail harnesses the wind. If there's a little bit of that real animosity feeling, truth to it, you can just harness that with your sail and being your performance, and just it's going to elevate what's going to happen. So it's very good. Yeah.
Quickly, do you guys think WWE superstars have more fun being a good guy or a bad guy?
From what I've heard from everybody, they love being the bad guy.
Being the bad guy is way more fun.
It's also fun because it's a little easier. If I come out there and go, "Hey guys, how you doing?" You go, "I don't know if I like this guy." But if I come out there and go, "Hey guys, shut up, you idiots," and I go, "Hey, I definitely don't like this guy."
Yeah,
it's a little easier to make someone dislike you, but
Especially today.
and
Yeah.
as long as
today's
you
environment.
understand that the boos are the inverse of cheers and that reactions are reactions, but it's definitely more fun.
Oh, yeah.
It's more fun. In the 90s, everybody wanted to be a cool bad guy. Now, don't be a cool bad guy. Just be a bad guy and be hated.
It's all your
Quick-
fault, NWO.
That's right.
Quickly before we go to the break, where does the Miz rank in the against the all-time villains? Like villains, where is he on that list?
He's the Roddy Piper of today. I don't know if he's as good as Roddy Piper ever was, but he's the Roddy
Getting there.
Piper for today. As soon as he gets the microphone in his hand, that crowd wants him to shut
there
up.
was only one
The
hot
only reason that he wouldn't be on that upper list is because he was not a wrestler who went around and paid his dues and worked in territories. He came from the new world. What's it called?
Real world.
The real world. And kind of came through Hollywood and was a product of WWE as opposed to rising to the top and getting recruited by WWE.
But by that token, you have to give him a lot of credit for not taking that same route and still accomplishing what he has accomplished.
Absolutely.
You do have to give him-
because the system was in place when he was there. It wasn't in place before.
Well, hopefully more The Miz and Daniel Bryan drama to come. When we're back, guys, we have another 3 count coming your way. Me too. She'll be taking on Carmella tonight for the SmackDown Championship. Here's our 3 count with Becky Lynch. Love her. 3 count welcomes Becky Lynch, a fierce competitor in the ring, but we'll see if you're just as fierce on the mic here in our show called 3 count. Are you ready?
I am ready. Wait, what is this?
Oh, you'll see.
Okay,
I
let's see.
promise,
All right,
I promise.
okay,
You'll be
wonderful.
okay.
I'm excited. Woo, now I'm a little nervous.
Do you have any weird pre-match rituals, or do you know anyone who has any weird pre-match rituals?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. Maybe I dance oddly, and I pace. I pace and I dance.
A little Irish dance?
Yeah, a little bit of a jig in the
Yeah,
backstage area.
oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Just goes like a little 1 2 1 2. No,
I got no rhythm, so
No, I
that's
don't.
all you.
No, me neither.
Okay, second question. What is the biggest misconception that someone might have about a superstar?
Gosh, that we get to sleep. I don't know. I don't know what they might have a misconception about. Maybe that it's so there's so much hard work that goes into it, and we have to drive from town to town. So we'll land in a town, we'll have to get our own rental cars, we'll have to find food, we'll have to find a gym, we'll have to do the show, then we drive to the next town, find a hotel in the next town or wherever it is that we're going, have to do the same thing, same rigmarole over and over again. So I think maybe sometimes people might think that we have this glamorous lifestyle, that we're traveling around in private jets and buses and all that kind of stuff and staying in 5-star resorts, but it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of dedication, and it's just making it from town to town and putting on the best possible show that you ever can for the audience that comes out to see you.
It's awesome. And speaking of all the travel, if you could road trip with one superstar, who would it be and why?
One that I don't already road trip with?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Like from past, present, or future?
Whatever you'd like.
Ooh, let me see. Who would I road trip with?
I'm giving you the freedom because I liked your last answer so much that we're gonna let you do your own thing on 3 count here.
All right, okay. Now you see, it's interesting, right? Because so many people have already become my friends, you know. Okay, so maybe Austin. Yeah, I'd road trip with Austin. Okay. Yeah, listen to his stories, because I've already road tripped with Shawn Michaels because we did the movie last year, and road tripped with Miz because we did the movie last year, so we were riding together. Road tripped with Charlotte and Ric Flair, and Had great, road trip with Lita, just having the banter and all that kind of things. So I think Austin is probably one of my top people that I haven't gotten to sit down for a good long period of time and have a good conversation
So
with.
if there's one thing I learned here, it's that you're friends with everybody. You're likable.
I like people. Maybe I just hang around. Maybe they don't like me. They always seem to turn on me in the end.
No, well,
Seems the story of my life, doesn't it? I'm
Super
talking storyline.
a super
Okay,
lovely
that's not
Becky
real life.
Lynch. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
playing
much.
3 count with us.
Awesome. What was the 3 count part?
Just 3 questions.
Oh, 3 questions. I got it.
See, it was good.
I
We
thought
kind
it
of
was
tripped
like-
you up a little bit.
I thought it was a word association.
Did you think you were
thing,
gonna
yeah.
do a move on me and put me on the ground and lay me out?
Well,
and we have 3 count.
Yeah, well, then that would be easy, and it would
That
be done. It'd be done in one.
It would be.
Did she just threaten you?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
She did, but I love her. I mean, for everyone at home, Becky Lynch is as lovable as she is in person as she comes across on TV.
I will say this: I would come out of retirement to referee that match.
Yes.
Oh, guys, maybe one day
For
we'll make
sure.
it happen. Okay, what do we
I'll be in
think
your
about
corner.
Becky Lynch taking on Carmella tonight?
Man,
It needs to happen.
Yeah.
Screw Carmella, man, I hate her.
Anthony, we are on
If-
this.
if
I don't
she-
hate her, but
If Becky can take out James Ellsworth, then the world is right again.
Becky Lynch is my absolute favorite, and I want her to win all the time.
Same.
I want her to have the championship forever. I think she's great. I want her to win tonight.
Yeah, I've seen her evolve before she was in WWE, and she's grown into this, because she's like a tomboy, rough
Yeah.
and tough wrestler girl, and now she's grown into this glamorous side. I think she's absolutely stunning too.
Yeah, it's
and her
tough.
personality, she's so down to earth, and she's awesome. She's really good. She's the kind of person that you meet and you walk away saying, "Wow, she's really cool and down to earth." And if you've never met a WWE superstar before, you're going to leave with a good experience with meeting Becky
yeah,
Lynch.
we're all Team Becky.
She's
for
a good
sure.
fighter.
Yes.
All right, guys,
Good
quickly,
fighter.
time for Ask Aftermath. Thanks for sending in your questions. First one, has WWE made a mistake in making Braun Strowman too powerful? Like, what are they going to do when it's time for Braun to lose?
He's going to flip the dome, whatever dome they're fighting in. He's going to flip the entire
Or
dome.
whatever name is on that building.
Yeah, whatever.
You know what? We always go back to comic book references.
Yes.
You know, Superman was invincible, but he had his kryptonite. And he also eventually met his match in Doomsday.
He did, so we just need a kryptonite
All
for
you
Braun.
need is a piece of bamboo about this long and
There you go.
Get the
that's
dart.
it.
Yeah,
Done.
Dart.
easy.
Hey.
Now, quick question for you.
Yes.
I'm going for a run today and I need a new album on my playlist. What do you got for me?
Oh, can I recommend Walk with Elias? Elias has an album out right now, and I listened to it on the plane ride home from Japan a lot. It's fantastic. I can't tell you enough of how good this album is.
Okay.
He sings, he plays guitar, he plays piano.
Wow.
It's fantastic.
All right.
I love it. Go get yourself the album.
All right, I'm going to run to it today. For you guys at home, enjoy this next episode of SmackDown Live, and the crew will see you back next Tuesday.
Walk with Elias, everybody.
Biceps.